Today is Wednesday, the 7th of June 2023. My name is Scott Eldred. I am the assessor for Alfie and Charlie, who will introduce themselves. This is their speaking and listening exercise, the discussion, and I will get Charlie to introduce himself first.
My name is Charlie and I agreed to being recorded for this SLC assessment.
My name is Alfred and I agreed to be recorded for this CU assessment.
And I'm Natasha Jones and give permission to be recorded for the SLC assessment.
Okay, off you go.
So what is today's discussion going to be about?
It's going to be a discussion on the pros and cons of technology advancing. One leading problem or one leading con is the amount of jobs that are taken away by advancements in technology.
Yeah, I could disagree with that. I would say in certain jobs like police officing, I would say that it could save lives with machinery instead of people.
So when you talk about policing and saving lives with machinery instead of people, what do you think about it then taking away maybe rights or it not understanding those nuances that a human would understand?
Yeah, but then also it could save a lot of money in employment and everything. It could be put into other things that are more necessary.
Mm-hmm. So you think AI saves money more than, so those benefits outweigh the disadvantages?
However, I would say in terms of that is not so much as a benefit as the machining or the technology that would be needed to employ these or use these robots would end up being more expensive than actually just employing someone.
I would say though in the long run it probably work out beneficial because it would save in the long run so much lives.
Mm-hmm. And so what about those creative industries where people's arts that they do, now they're just doing AI versions but AI only learns from real people, so it's almost stealing in a way?
Yeah.
What would you say to that? So it may save the initial company money, but then what about these artists who aren't able to make money? What could be done instead, do you think? Do you have any ideas?
Well, there could be laws and regulations put in place to stop the AI from being able to steal artists. If it is blatant copying, then it should be immediately removed or deleted.
Also, with certain art, I think there should be like a certain imprint. If it's a certain maybe a sculpture, there's a certain distinctive maybe print or something that's on the sculpture, the painting, that tells you if it's AI or human.
That's a good idea actually, something that shows the person viewing it that it has come from AI, because a lot of the time you've just got no idea. So that's a really good idea, I think. Do you agree?
Yes. Moving on to a different point at the time. This, for instance, on say a farm, for instance, if you bring in say a machine to do it, you could have 5 people that work the farm, but then you only need 1 machine to do it. You've taken 5 people's jobs for 1 machine, except you don't need 5 people to know how to fix the machine. You only need 1 person to know how to do it. They can fix multiple.
However, it could be more cleaner and more probably safety for the food and for it to be with less diseases if I think a machine did it. Because if a human does it and it contracts something, then I'd say
So like when foot and mouth disease was spread from between people. Okay. So have you seen any movies based on sort of AI getting out of control? Do you think they're realistic?
Well, for that to happen, it would have to be a drastic overlook for that to occur, because of course there will have to be restrictions put in place for AI. Otherwise, it would eventually go out of control,
Yeah.
like most things would.
But is there no limit to AI because they can store so much information and they can actually hack systems and everything, so that how is it you're able to stop them?
That's what I would be worried about, because when I was watching iRobot, it got me. When I first watched it, I understood it, but it just seemed such a far off thing. But I swear I thought about it the other day, that I feel that this is getting closer and closer, and I think that's what scares people.
Yeah.
Well, that also depends on what sort of AI you're referring to. If you're talking to a self-aware one that can learn from itself, that one would almost be sentient, since it could learn from its own mistakes and become better and change. However, if you're referring to an AI that's in a phone, that is pre-programmed with certain responses that can't go further than what it has. Can be updated with certain installments.
Yeah. So we've got the control, they don't have the control.
Moving back to the realm of not theory, but actually working. There is a large pro that we've been using for hundreds of years, is in terms of development of medicine to stop diseases and illnesses, and even just help in terms of medical procedures.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I've seen that clips of that robot hand doing operations on people's hearts and things, and that's just, that
Be a lot more
wows
steady
me.
than a human hand.
Yeah, it's crazy. So obviously that's good. So obviously the person that did that, they must be so proud of themselves.
Yeah.
So that is saving lives, kind of what you're saying.
But I also, but if it, like, I think if like all medicine, it makes technology, how you're using it with data you're able to store about it and everything. I think there's a way where someone could use that to, take advantage of it, so they can hack into systems and take all the data you've got and everything and technology using that, and they can use it again and increase the price of it, so it makes it harder for someone who's less fortunate to get it. And I think if technology didn't do it, I think it'd be more, maybe even cheaper for someone to, I think, afford it.
Well, in terms of saying that, technology allows it to be mass-produced faster than by hand, and since you don't need to have a labourer to do it physically and manually, it would also end up being cheaper instead. Since you could have a robot churning out hundreds, while it would take a person days to get that many, well, the robot could do it one day instead.
Yeah. But there's so much like conspiracy that when they like robot, all that they, how much they produce it, is it?
So do you mean that they've done all of this, and then what happens with what they produce? Do you think it could be wasteful, maybe?
Yeah, because I think also how much they're wasting, they could actually use it better to know, because how many you think the viruses they build, but then there's a new virus or a new disease that comes out and they have to figure something completely different out,
So-
and they could put all their effort into.
To the new one.
Well, a virus never just disappears. We still need those medicines for the people that are, the newer children that are born and stuff like that. They may not have an immunity to it yet, so we still need the medication to help them. And we can't exactly prevent a disease that we don't know exists yet, because we don't know what it does yet.
That's true. I mean, there are those childhood diseases that were almost eradicated, and then because of complacency, people weren't taking up vaccination offers, and then all of a sudden, this disease that we hadn't seen for decades is now prevalent. For example, measles. So, like my age group, like measles, we heard about, what happened if you had measles, and we all knew that we were to be vaccinated, and then there's people now that have barely heard of it because they don't understand the implications of someone getting measles whose immune system can't cope, and things like deafness can be from measles, which they call just a simple childhood disease, but it's a simple childhood disease because we were vaccinated. But so they've kind of like lost the importance of that. So
Yeah, but also is they when I was reading on it,
Mhm.
they said that the COVID-19 was linked to actually the Spanish flu. There was similar like traits to it.
yeah, there were a lot of similarities because a lot of people did say, oh, it's just like another form of the flu. On one hand, yes, but for those who have severe complications, it's way more than the flu, isn't it? So you just can't compare yourself to other people when it comes
That's
to
why it
things like
affects.
that.
So some people have no symptoms, and then
And
another
other
person
people.
can have completely.
Yeah, and then there's those that obviously didn't make it from
Yeah.
it. So yeah, we just don't know. Definitely.
I think that's why I think also if someone did that, put all their time into the technology making all of them, I
Mhm.
think they could have. It could have made something that even though when they made it, it probably got distributed much quicker and saved more lives. I think in the long run it could have cured it. I think if they put all their effort into just, cause you look how many like diseases and viruses have actually been like where they've made complete immunity to it and
Mhm,
everything.
mhm.
Look, there's ain't actually many of them that they're completely. They always have a way to come back and
Oh yeah, like superbugs and
Yeah.
things like that. Yeah, that's true because everyone has to be involved, and then when one person's not, that's what then leaves an opening for it to like come back. So overall, are we saying technology or even AI good or
think-
bad?
I
What
think
are we saying?
I think overall, technology will always be a clash between whether or not it helps, because in the medical industry it's saving hundreds of millions, but then in the actual employment industry it's still taking away jobs.
Mhm.
So I think overall there will always be these problems. There isn't
Yeah.
really a way to get rid of them.
Need to find a happy
And
medium.
also, I think there's always going to be them people who say when they want to live a life without technology and live away naturally and everything. I think there's always going to be them people that say that it's much better to live without any technology and it's healthier and have technology in life that they think mucks up your brain and the way you think. But I think, I agree with Charlie. I think in the long run, technology will be best for everyone.
Okay, great.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.